changes the angle. So for me, it was impossible to learn any angles because I didn't know how that cue ball was going to leave the tip of the cue. Yeah. You know, within the amount of precision required to feel confident. So I have learned that angle.
And that anxiety and that desire to get the ball in was stopping you being aware of the very thing you needed to be aware of.
Yeah, correct.
To be able to do that.
Yeah.
So you were stuck in like this little cul-de-sac.
Correct.
Really.
Correct. Yeah. So what this has done is it's given me that ability to improve my cueing. It's not perfect by any way, shape or form, but improve it. And as a result of improving it, all of these other things that I've been struggling with have fallen into place.
Yeah.
And this is without hitting a ball. The majority of it is without hitting a ball with this.
Yeah.
This is just to sort out the cue. And okay, you can put balls in front of it and see how that changes the way that you cue. You can, take these legs off, put the cue here, the cue ball here, and use it as a roller bridge, as it were, and all those sort of things. But the biggest benefit I've got is actually in this mode to correct this wayward right hand out of sight.
Yeah, watching your frustration at times, it was almost as if occasionally that the frustration was greater than any possible benefit you might get from the game. So it was.
Yes.
It was. You're not alone in that, and it's uncomfortable to watch a buddy going through that, and you end up thinking, well, should this person continue playing because the frustration is so great? I've been there myself. Yeah. I've been there. I know what it's like. And how do you feel now your relationship to the game or your enjoyment of the game has been impacted, and what you see for yourself in the future in your snooker?
Well, that's a good question, and obviously we're only just past that milestone of first century break, and that's something which I've wanted to do for a long time, and always thought that I would just fall short. I'm trying to avoid the word choke, but just fall short. Yeah. But now having, if you like, chalked that one up, then that's brought me a huge amount of pressure. I mean, you remember how it was when I got my first century lineup. Yeah. And that was just a fantastic feeling. Yeah. And this again a proper century break without having to have from a lineup structure is a brilliant feeling. It's brought me so much enjoyment. So thank you so much for the 4 years of work and the 2 weeks of this. That's facilitated all of that. Yeah. But going forward, there's because of the progress that's been made so far, I know that I'm nowhere near perfection. I know that I still have those habits of gripping the cue.
As opposed to being totally unaware of that.
Correct. So this I see as, if you like, a daily workout, just for 10-15 minutes a day, and just to make sure that the cue action is right, and don't forget at the same time as making sure that the cue action is okay. I'm also checking my alignment. I'm checking my head alignment. Does the cue look straight? Right, so there's all those things. Am I cueing smoothly? Am I accelerating on delivery? Am I, have I got a good length of action? So there's all these other things that can be worked on at the same time. And as I say, I don't even need to hit a ball. Now, okay, I have access to a table, but if I didn't have access to a table, this would still have brought all of those benefits, by just practicing at home on the dining table or what have you.
Do you feel that one's ability to enjoy, looking back to then and now and looking into the future, do you feel that someone's ability to enjoy the game is directly related to their ability to, or to your ability to self-diagnose?
Oh, without question, and also the ability to enjoy the game has to have an almost direct correlation between the ability to put a cue through in a straight line. You know the issue that all players battle with, that if the cue is, I was going to say not going through in a straight line. There are plenty of professional players where the cue doesn't go in the straight line, but it's consistent. It's the inconsistency that throws you.
Yes, right.
So the amount of players that I play with where they are consistently frustrated and playing beneath their ability, and B, their desired ability, because of that inability to cue consistently. That's where this really comes in, because that gives all players, as I'm proof of, the tool to be able to, as you say, self-diagnose. Because you couldn't have told me whether I was moving the cue quarter of an inch, and if I was moving a quarter of an inch, is that my grip, is that my wrist, is that my elbow, is that my shoulder, is that my body?
How do you know?
There was no way of knowing.
Mirrors, video, your mate telling you what you're doing.
We've done it all.
The bloke down the club.
And then what's it manifest itself? Oh, I must remember to keep my elbow in, or I must remember to grip the cue a bit lighter at this point. And it's just impossible to know. Whereas this is almost a non-verbal way of correcting all of those,
it gives you
those issues. Yes.
That's it, that's all you need.
And you can't describe it, because it is just a feeling.
Yeah, that's absolutely,
And if somebody else were to use this, although you would see what they were doing wrong, this would tell them what they were doing wrong, so you wouldn't have to describe it to them for them to consciously correct. It's there to see, so it's subconsciously automatically corrected.
Well,
by the user.
that's all a coach tries to do anyway, is go to that part of the mind in the player to give that feeling. That's all coaching is.
Yeah.
Is to help a player feel the cue moving in a straight line at the correct speed.
Yep.
That's all coaching is.
Yeah.
So really, I look at myself coaching now and get people going through that, and I kind of 90% of what I previously said just gets out of the way, and I'm facilitating their process through this.
Their own learning.
And it happens in minutes. I get club players, beginners virtually, who within 5 minutes are delivering the cue almost ramrod straight. All right, it doesn't happen with everybody, but some of the players, the transformation is stunning.
What's your experience with rest play? Because, as you know, that was a particular...
Oh, that was your favourite, wasn't it?
That was my favourite.
Your favourite worst
I
thing.
loved that. Yeah, no, rest play was just drove me nuts. Absolutely bonkers nuts. Because I couldn't work out why. If I can see right down the cue, surely I can cue straighter.
Yeah. Good point.
Surely.
Yeah.
No. Whereas using this, in this sort of mode.
Yeah.
Across the table a little bit, I can see where my cue, and normally it would sort of do this sort of thing and go to one side, but you can see it.
So does that feeling feel much different to how you used to feel?
Yeah, just a lot.
And I think what happens with the rest is, what I found with the rest is that similar thing, some players, total transformation in 5 minutes, not with everybody, but it's stunning. It's what used to take me weeks or months with a client, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. I think it's just that is so good. Yeah. Or rather, it's not that, it's the immediacy and the quality of the feedback.
Yes.
That's just a vehicle to get that. They move their stance. Very often the player is not aware of what impact the stance has on the ability to move the cue in a straight line. Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things that you see the players suddenly moving their stance and not knowing why.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's impossible to move the cue in a straight line with the rest if you're standing in the wrong angle.
Yes. Yeah.
You could have the perfect stance, be 5 degrees wrong, no way you're delivering the cue straight. So that's one of the biggest things I've seen.
Okay.
But I'm delighted that it's helped remove some frustration on that
hugely.
as well.
Yeah, hugely. I can't sing its praises highly enough.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, apart from the tremendous commitment you've shown, which is, I hear your frustration sometimes when you go to the club and someone who never plays comes in, smashes the ball in, has no idea how they do it. But your talent is in focused determination and persistence, and that's a great talent, and that talent has got you to this point. It's pushed you through the frustration. So yeah, can't sing your praises highly enough as well.
It's very kind of you, thank you. But
more meaningful overall, to cap it all, I think more meaningful for me than seeing you make a ton is doing it in the right way, where it's repeatable. You know what you were doing to achieve that.
Yep.
It wasn't you came in onto the table one day flying out of your face and potting everything and you don't know why.
Yep.
More important than that is that I can see you have more ability to enjoy the game now. So you know, I'm not sitting there wondering, oh, is Clive, you know, playing and in the doldrums again, you know, because no one wants to be in that place.
Yes.
So that is the most meaningful thing to me, more than making a ton. So yeah, delighted.
Fabulous.
It's helped us both.
Yep, correct. Thank you, mate.
Well done.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks a lot.